Could two of history's notorious serial killers actually be one man? A San Diego native who can trace his roots back to one of those is convinced.
And he spoke only with our 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena tonight. She shows us the evidence he says proves it.
Growing up in Coronado, Jeff Mudgett never knew the dark secret lurking in his family's history.
I was 40 years old when my grandfather dropped the revelation on the entire family.
And it was a bombshell. Mudgett's great-great-grandfather was none other than H.H. Holmes, also known as America's first serial killer. By all accounts, Holmes, born Herman Webster Mudgett, was an evil genius, a skilled con man who used his medical background to help him carry out horrific crimes.
The murder castle basement was something right out of Mary Shelley and Frankenstein in America.
The now infamous murder castle stood at the corner of 63rd and Wallace in Chicago's Inglewood neighborhood. Holmes built it as a hotel just in time for the Chicago World's Fair of 1893 and is said to have preyed on unsuspecting visitors who checked in and never checked out. Although Holmes himself confessed to murdering 27 people, Mudgett believes that number was much higher.
I believe it was a couple hundred at least. Eric Larson does too, from Devil in the White City.
The Devil in the White City brought Holmes back into the spotlight and became a best-selling book. But Mudgett believes there's another chapter to his great-great-grandfather's story. History Channel's American Ripper followed Mudgett on his quest to prove Holmes was also responsible for another string of gruesome crimes.
Jack the Ripper was the Chicago doctor H.H. Holmes.
Jack the Ripper terrorized London's Whitechapel neighborhood in 1888, killing at least 5 women. The bodies were mutilated with surgical precision, indicating the killer had an extensive knowledge of the human anatomy, something Holmes definitely possessed.
Here's this 5'7", 150-pound, 25 to 35-year-old American doctor, which is the exact description Scotland Yard put on their report after those murders. They believed it was an American doctor.
During the show, the body of what is believed to be Holmes was exhumed from a grave in Philadelphia. Holmes was tried, convicted, and hanged in 1896, but ever since, rumors have swirled about the possibility that someone else was executed.
Holmes could have switched either an innocent living man or a cadaver for the burial.
Scientists at the University of Pennsylvania and Penn Museum used dental records to ID the body as Holmes, but Mudgett has his doubts.
I think the dental records prove that what we exhumed was what was buried in the grave.
Whether Holmes died in 1896 or later, he would have still been capable of committing the Ripper crimes. Right now, Mudgett only has circumstantial evidence, like these handwriting samples from both killers, and the side-by-side comparison of witness descriptions of the Ripper and Holmes. But he believes the key to solving the mystery is back in Chicago.
That's one of the reasons I want permission from the federal government to excavate on the grounds of the murder castle one day.
The castle was torn down decades ago and a post office built on the property. Mudgett thinks there's much to be discovered there.
We're going to find DNA. We're going to find bones. I'm hoping to find evidence connecting Holmes, direct evidence to Jack the Ripper and Whitechapel, the killings there.
Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
And if you would like to learn more about H.H. Holmes and Mudgett's findings, he's written a book called Bloodstains and has a website. There is a link on our website, 10news.com. Just click on the red television button.